I mean, if my dad John Slote ever denies that I'm disabled, you can ask him this: what does Mongoloid mean, John? Because he used to call Tom that all the time. They say it's an old-fashioned term for a person with Down syndrome. And I said I have slight Down syndrome. I said that. All right. So yeah, I've been called Mongoloid a lot of times in my life. A lot of times. I'm not famous enough to be on the Mongoloid when you search up Mongoloid though. Yet. Maybe in the future. But I think he meant well. He meant well when he said it. He meant well. I don't see many Mongoloids that remind me of myself. I guess that one guy had similar. The one up here reminded me of myself a bit. This guy, because sometimes I have the lazy eye, yada yada. This guy sort of has a similar complexion as me. Well, complexion has to do with, but the facial features. I mean, facial features. Down syndrome. Does it mean you're always down or whatever? Down about who you are or whatever? I'm not sure. I know it has to do with something about the chromosomes. Well, I guess that would be considered extreme. I guess that would be considered depression. If you're down or whatever. Is it a syndrome that you never made it to full chromosome count? But you made it to be alive, but for some reason the chromosomes never added up or something like that. I'm not sure, but I think that's enough trying to figure it out for now. One other thing they called me was a sumo wrestler or whatever too. I heard that a lot. Sumo. Actually, I'm a lot bigger than many sumo wrestlers now. With my well, I'm a lot like this one. I'm a lot like that one. Roy Nelson is one of the biggest wastes of potential. Roy Nelson knocked out Kimbo Slice, didn't he? I remember when they used to say Roy Nelson was fat. I was like, I remember I was watching. They're like, Roy Nelson's fat. I'm like, Roy Nelson ain't fat. I'm way fatter than Roy Nelson. That's how them ones are. Them ones. There's a certain group of them. They say like anybody with a little bit of abdomen fat or whatever is a fat guy. I remember that ones. Them ones have dwindled away. Them ones dwindled away big time. There used to be a bunch of them or whatever. Or they got a little belly fat on themselves too. Look at the Roy Nelson in this one. Look at the body on Mr. Nelson. I know his body looks hard and everything, but that is, it's a soft, a nice. It's just a soft. He's got a really soft stomach, and I bet you it tickles, or like you can tickle. I mean, he reminds me a lot like Travis, actually. right? A lot like Travis, my old friend Travis. Travis has been wanting to get in it since the 360 flip. Because he could do a 360 flip, he said. But we all know he couldn't. Because we're still waiting on the video of that 360 flip. .360 flip. Dude, you don't have to get mad. I'm showing a dang 360 flip. Oh, and then you make me have to get into guns again. Oh, Travis wasn't into skateboards much. He was more into Mossberg pumps. And there's a skateboarding area, I guess, in the United States where skateboarders live and all that. Because skateboarders are a certain kind of person with their money. Ooh, you know what just happened to that one Terry Crews or whatever? He was one of my favorites. Not Terry Crews. R.I.P. to Mr. Crews. I think he passed away. No, he's still alive. I'm wrong. But what's that Terry something or the other skateboarder that just got arrested? Terry Kennedy. Big fan of Terry Kennedy. First Degree Murder. He was my favorite character to play on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. I would play him and Kareem Baker, whatever his name is. All
A
the
professional
time.
skateboarder from Long Beach is charged with first-degree.
I can't believe my favorite skateboarder, one of my favorite skateboarders, got arrested. Or charged with murder. That doesn't mean he's convicted. It just means that he's being charged.
A
So he
professional
could, I mean,
skateboarder from
that was one of my favorite skateboarders. But, I mean, now that I get older, it's like sometimes it's not working out too well for people, I guess. I don't know. When it's one of those days for me that it's not working out too well, I try to I don't know, because then you can't just lay there and be depressed either. He should have been out skateboarding. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Dude, when I went to jail, dude, I learned how bad it was. And that all that rap music and shit and everybody tells you it's all fake. I know what I want my life to be. I know what my life was before I fell for those things. And that's what jail taught me. And I'm so lucky that I had never got in trouble before and yada yada, where I've learned my lesson. I'm back on my feet. Because I'll tell you what, it took me 3 years or more, actually more years, 5 years to get back on my, more than that, 7 years. And it wasn't just me. It's impossible to get back on your feet. Impossible. It feels impossible, but it's not impossible. You can do it. You just need, luckily I learned a trade when I was young, you know. If you don't know a trade, that's what my dad always told me. If you don't know a trade, building websites a trade, make it creating videos is a trade. Listen, if you don't know a trade, and I'm an apprentice plumber, and I'm an apprentice jeweler. If you don't have a trade, I said I'm an apprentice jeweler. You do not need a license to be an apprentice jeweler. I mean, maybe to become an official apprentice, but I'm using apprentice as an adjective. So now, if you were to say that I'm not an apprentice jeweler, which I'm not going to argue with, but are you attacking my physicality or my freedoms because I said that I know a lot about gemology and jewelry? That's illegal, and I'll charge you with harassment or assault, battery, manipulation. I will charge you. Huh? Star death if you want to. Didn't receive SERB. I didn't receive SERB. Mocked for comments. Rejected CNN offer. Look, I didn't receive SERB, and guess what? The people that receive SERB, they cry to me every goddamn day. It's like, how'd you do it? You didn't get served. How'd you do it? Well, he went to work every gosh darn day and he did it. He opened a SERB claim, they never gave it to him. All right. Well, they say he didn't need it, but hey, let's be honest, he probably did need it. I mean, the ones that I seen got served, even though it looks like he's doing great without his serve, he's doing great without the serve, it looks like, from the outside perspective. But maybe I don't know what the case is, but he could have needed it. There were a lot of ones that didn't need it that got it and just wasted it. Nothing but junkies got served. Do we have one person in Canada that can stand up and say they got served and did something good with it? Post those stories. Post those stories of somebody that did good with their serve. Because there isn't really many stories. It's all people that wasted their money. Didn't even pay their $15 hosting bill. I know somebody that got served and they had me create a website for them. And they couldn't, and they got $20,000, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000, and they couldn't even afford to pay their $10 6-month starter host. That's how big of a drug addict these people are. All right, they got hundreds of thousands, yet they can't even pay their $10 a month thing. You feel me? Oh,